Fenster.
I'm Luca.
My name is Jonathan.
Hi.
I'm JJ, and we are in a band together that's called Fenster.
These days, everything is like available on Spotify, and like it's super easy to consume, and consumer don't really have to pay much. Do you notice that as an artist that it's like tougher sort of, or like who wants to answer?
It's just different, I guess. I mean, we also just know this model because we were not here in the 90s, I guess, when it was very different, the way money was organized. And the thing with Spotify is it's kind of double-edged. There's something really nice about the fact that everyone can access your music very easily. And then the money thing is like, it's another topic. The way that it's distributed, it's just how it is. And it's the internet. I personally like the fact that things are kind of for free and you can access things, because I'm also a consumer and I like what's free. But
free stuff is always good.
But also I don't know, trying to make a living out of it. So I have a little animal on me right now.
Yeah, they're everywhere. We have
maybe you has an opinion
somewhere if you want. Like,
I'm just gonna wave my hands like
okay.
It's silent.
Do you feel like with like your music being super available everywhere, that it's like same worth, like that people appreciate it the same?
Again, it's hard to answer because we sort of came up in this post-internet age, and I personally, like when I was a kid and I had like a CD or a tape or a record, I would listen to it over and over again because I had a finite amount of music. So I would carry around my like Discman and I would like listen to this one CD until it broke. So I think that kind of listening to albums is a little bit of a dying phenomenon because everyone consumes music now mostly, I think, in playlists or on YouTube. So I think there is a mental and also practical shift that people then consume a lot more music, but not as much. Like they'd hear like 100 songs and maybe not remember, but I would like remember forever these 10 songs from a CD. So I think like what we're trying to do, we make albums still, which is kind of old-fashioned, and we hope people listen to them, but it's also cool if they just listen to one song in a playlist and consume it that way. There's no right or wrong or rule. It's just, I think the format has changed.
Songs, like, do you write them all together? What's your process? How do you do it? You can all answer.
We've made 4 records and they have different. Every record has slightly a different approach and history. But for the last one, which is like maybe the most relevant to talk about, it was like an interesting process. It was because we're three songwriters, like who all have like ideas. And we all write like individually. We have solo projects and we write music just for our own stuff. So we had a lot of songwriters, like a lot of chefs in the kitchen, kind of. And we had to like find some kind of way. And we did like full-on Greek democracy, like direct old school
democracy.
Direct democracy, like debate-based approach. Yeah, the big, yeah.
But yeah, it was like the actual process was kind of different. We spent 2 weeks in Rotterdam and then 2 weeks in Italy composing, and we played games. We made sort of little challenges for ourselves to trick ourselves into letting our guard down, because I think it's such an intimate process to be creative with other people. So there were moments that were like tricky and finding our ground, but then I think we locked into a sort of really comfortable, fun space where we could be really free. And we recorded in that time, I think, like 22 songs to different degrees of being finished, and 10 came out on the record. But it was a really strange journey, I think, for all of us. None of us had ever attempted something like that before. So it was a really special time also to kind of go really deep into this thing together, like all kind of navigating this wonky boat.
and trying not to break it or go down. So you said that you all have individual projects. You have also a film and some theater and some solo album and stuff like that. So like, do you want to say something about that? Like, why do you have your solo stuff? Isn't like the band like pretty much a full-time job and you're like always together? Like, why do you feel the need to have solo project?
I think that's exactly why. because the band became so deeply collaborative, I think, and we are all very strong personalities. I think we all also needed like another little space to fully express ourselves without having to make compromises, essentially. And I think it can really strengthen a group dynamic when everyone feels like they're able to fully do whatever they want without, asking anyone's permission over here. And then like over here when we're together, then we're really together. I think it's like a healthy balance. So for me anyway, yeah.
How about you? Same?
I agree.
I
think it's like the opposite of democracy is like when you do your solo project, suddenly you can be the king. And it's nice. It's interesting to have both. To like release some steam, in a group situation. To know like, okay, maybe they're not into that, but I'm going to explore that on my own. And we all kind of synchronized also. Because we made the last album, which came out in September last year. And since then, we all at the same time doing this exploration on our own. So it works because...
And you don't like break out in like a huge fight over like writing songs and freak out?
I mean, we do, but it's personal.
Sometimes. You also... Wow.
Yes.
Not bad. You? I can't do that.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna knock your glasses off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Just learn something. Every day something new. You also have a film, an experimental film. How did that project happen?
It started as a joke. We wanted to make something really free and different.
You know this song? This Bee Gees song? I just thought of it. It's so perfect. It's like I just started a joke, and then I realized. Well, I don't know exactly how it goes. I started a joke, but then in the end it goes like, and the joke was on me.
Oh yeah,
Just
that's
wanted to add
very
that.
good, very
Yeah.
appropriate quote.
You want to sing around?
The joke was definitely on us. It's really true. Because we were like, oh, wouldn't it be so funny to like make an album and like it's the soundtrack to a movie that doesn't exist? And then we made that movie and it was really challenging. And
It was good.
It took almost a year of our lives, I think. And yeah, we did everything ourselves. We have a great community around us in Berlin, friends that were in the movie that helped out. And it was a really fun and crazy process, but it was way more than we bargained for. And I'm glad we did it then without knowing how crazy it would be, because otherwise I think we wouldn't have done it.
What was so challenging? Like, was it because I guess it was not just fun. Oh, he knows the challenge.
Well, it's very. So we got a camera, a VHS camera, and it's very easy to have fun and just do funny things with it. But once you like have this joke and you try to like make it happen, it's really hard to make a story that makes sense. It's a skill we didn't have and we just learned by doing. And yeah, there was some actors, and acting is also something. It was a whole new world for us because we're musicians in the first place, so we had to be like, oh yeah, you should do this and this, and it's very hard to just learn to be a director while you actually a director. So so it was a bit of a challenge, but we did it.
You did good. Maybe in your past life you were a director.
Maybe.
Or your future.
Yeah, it's called Emocean, the movie, by the way. Yeah.
If you so you're super I guess interested in all sort of like art, music, acting. directing.
Mhm.
What do you think did you become if you wouldn't be super crazy good musicians? I just try to.
Oh wow. If I was smarter, I would have loved to be like a physicist and study outer space, but I was really bad at math. But I tried a little bit and almost failed. But I would love to study like planets and stuff. It would be really cool. But yeah, I can just admire it from afar.
If I was smarter, I think I would try to be less smart and just learn to do something really with my hands, like to be a carpenter or how do you say, a wood someone who like builds tables and yeah, like a menuisier.
Tischler
like,
in English, in German.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
a wood worker.
Yeah.
And I think this is real art. It's really it's art that's not something everyone can learn on YouTube. I mean, actually you can, because
you can learn everything on YouTube.
There's tutorials, but I mean, you learn how to do something with your hands and you develop this craft. And this is, I really respect that.
Nice. How about you?
I think I would like. I mean, I'd like to become a monk or something.
A what?
A monk.
Yeah, why not?
Become enlightened.
That's literally.
Because I don't think it will happen in this life.
Well, maybe when you retire.
I don't think I'm not putting in the time, but yeah, it would be nice, because I think I think there are people who are enlightened, and it's like must be a crazy nice like state of being, because you're always in this eternal present realm that like I think I've once or twice in my life experienced, and it's like really nice.
Thank you guys for the interview. It was really a pleasure.
You.